I always think about how blessed we are that mom, the greatest gift, aside from knowing Jesus as our Savior, the greatest gift that she gave us was the gift of want.
Yeah.
She gave us that gift.
Yep.
We want more in our life because she gave us that.
Yep.
And that we had to go through a lot of pain to get there.
Yep.
And now we're repurposing that into welcome to episode 4 of the Expose and Expand podcast show. I'm your host, Jeremy Timothy Mathis. It's your boy in the building, baby.
First, we ain't gonna glad. What you got on, bro? Let these people see what you got on. That boy foo.
You watching on air?
That boy foo.
I'm good, right? I'm good.
Bro, you got a light shirt with light pants. You can't wear that. You foo. But guys, this your boy Josh, J Money, J Thizzle, J Bizzle, whatever you want. Now I'm playing. This your boy Josh. Super excited about this episode, talking about repurposing your pain. This is the Expose and Expand show where we expose you to ideas, strategies, failures, struggles, experiences, and people that have helped us go from 0 to millions.
Guys, we forgot, hey, Money's here as well. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll definitely see Money. Money say what's up to y'all. But, you know, as Josh talked about, today's episode is very, very personal. You know, we're going to share a lot of our pains and what we had to overcome to get to this point. We want to expose you guys to it because we understand it's a critical topic in today's society. You know, everybody, they walk around acting like they perfect, like everything's all good and well, and that's not the case. We all go through things at certain points in our life. We all have pain. We all have trauma, and in order for you to get past it, you got to first identify and know that you have it, and then you need to be able to reflect and then figure out how can you repurpose it into your life. So today we want to talk about how all of the moments in our life that was very painful for us and how we repurpose that and how we use it in our life today.
Yeah. I'm super excited about this episode, man. I always say this, that there's purpose behind your pain.
Yeah.
So if you're going through something, understand that there's a reason why you're going through it. And don't say, why me? Be thankful for that moment. Understand that that moment happened so that it can transform you and change you, but then also so that you can be able to help somebody else who may be going through something.
Nah, definitely, man. I just, you know, we're big spiritual people. We believe in God. We believe in the Bible. And one of the things, like we always, every time something bad happens, I say Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, that's called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like, a lot of scripture don't really sit well. Like it don't hit with me, but that one hit me hard. And it's just always, I use that and I lean on that for every time we go through something. It's just always a reminder, everything happens for a reason. I'm so happy that we've been able to have so much, I'm so happy that we've been able to go through things and be able to repurpose that and to use that, because you think about how strong we are in business now. Yeah. How every situation made us a lot more mature. Yeah. We're a lot more mature now because we done been through things. The only way you get maturity is you got to go through some stuff. So for us, we're very fortunate that we've been able to go through a lot, and we like our maturity level is advanced.
And it's crazy too, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I remember every time when we go through something, a part of us is just like, man, it's painful, it's stressful, which that's what happens when you're growing, right? You get uncomfortable. But then also at the same time, you'll come in my office or I come in your office and be like, boy, God about to do something real big.
Yeah, boy.
God about to do something real big. And we know that when we going through something, and it just always happens. We come into each other's office and just, hey, God is about to do something.
So today, guys, is we gonna tell stories about, like, again, how we went through pain and then we repurposed that and how we using it today. You like, what story you want to start off with?
I want to go from just with Dad not being there, because
I think you jumping in that early.
We going deep, my boy. Ooh. We going deep. We getting we take him to the third, like real early. So. For you guys that don't know, our father was a drug lord and he went to prison when we were 6, right?
Yes.
And him being gone was just very, as we look back on it, very traumatic for our life. And, you know, I get goosebumps as I sit here and talk about it and think about it and just understand that, you know, him not being there, it caused a lot of pain and a lot of trauma in our life, and different points and different things in our life, right? From the fathers that we are, the men that we are, how we treat women, like just everything.
Yeah, just him not being there. Me personally, I've had to do a lot of therapy. You know that. Because, at one point in my life, I was very, very angry. Like, just angry, just like at everything.
Big green shorty. Angry for no reason. How you wake up and be mad? My boy, you just got up.
Yeah, like I was very, very angry, and I just got to the point in my life where I needed different. I know I wanted to be better. I knew that I had better in me, so I just started going to therapy. And one of the things that I realized was, like, I wanted dad around.
Yeah.
And once I got real with myself, I wanted that boy there.
Yeah.
Every time we go to practice, a lot of other people, they old boy, they dad was there, helping them with the drills, helping them learn how to tackle. You got blasted.
I wanted to quit, not blasted. Bit wanted to quit.
He got on the first hit because we ain't had nobody around to show us how to go tackle somebody. Yeah. We just putting them pads on. You got blasted.
I became a man early.
In the 3rd grade, Pee Wee football at Risco Park.
Yeah.
We ain't had nobody to really show us like how to tackle, what to do. We had to figure that out by ourselves. And I didn't realize as a kid, but I questioned that a lot. Like, man, like who gonna be the guy? Who gonna be the person to guide me? Who gonna be the person to get me through all of these struggles and gonna teach me certain things? And once I realized that was part of my anger. I wanted that boy around. He wasn't there. And I ain't feel like I ain't have nobody to go and talk to from that manly perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go a little deeper on that though. Do you feel like you forgiven him? Because I think a lot of times, I feel like you hold on to things a lot. So you feel like you forgiven him?
That boy forgiven. And I'm gonna tell you how I know I did. So I had a revelation, again, I'm married, happily married. A couple weeks ago, one of the things that I did before me and Ash got married was I told her I want to let go of everything, all bad stuff that's in my life. I want to make sure that I go into this marriage clear-headed and just focus on doing good for this family. And I said one thing that I had to do, I got to call my dad. We ain't talked to that boy. He got out of prison. We had a little bit of relationship. Things didn't work out. And we stopped talking for a couple years now. And I'm like, man, I don't need him. I ain't going to talk to him. And I got fortunate because I surrounded myself with other guys. And other guys that had the same relationship with their dad, but they rekindled the relationship. Yeah. And I got exposed. To a couple guys that I was around. They was like, bro, that was the best feeling in my life. I talked to my dad. I got it right. You need to do it. And I was like, oh, I'm good. But I made that promise to Ash before we get married. I'm gonna get right. So before I got married, couple days, we got married on the Friday. I called that boy on a Wednesday afternoon. And I had a lot of anxiety, like just feeling a lot of nerves. Yeah. I just remember feeling like nervous and like, damn, like why am I feeling nervous? I'm like, you know what? It's one thing I haven't done yet. Let me call my old boy. Let me call my dad. So I remember walking out the office. It was 3:19. I told Lori, I'm gonna just go for a walk. She probably thought I was dead because I was going for like 2 hours. And I called that boy. And I just said, bro, like I broke down and all. Like I called that boy and just had a real heart-to-heart conversation. Yeah. Like I felt this way. I cried. We cried. Well, he didn't cry, but I cried. I had a lot of stuff that happened, and I let go a lot. And I feel like I've just, over these last couple of weeks, I felt so free because, that was very painful for me. But as I've been reflecting, that's something that I know I needed to do, and I did it, and I'm happy I did. And being able to let that go, it's made me be in a much better headspace and just a much happier person.
So it's two things I want to, talk about that you said that really hit home. One, I want to let you know I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
Like just for calling him.
Appreciate it.
And being a better man. Then two, for just getting married and really changing the standard for our family. Yeah. We never got exposed to marriage. Yeah. And that's one thing that I want to talk about too, like just not being exposed to marriage. Yeah. And, for what you did. So
appreciate it.
That's key. But another point that you made is you had to let it go, right? And I think a lot of people got to let go of that pain, and it holds you back and it hinders you from being the person who God has created you to be. Yeah. You got to let go of that pain. So if you're watching this right now, whatever pain you got, whatever pain you're going through, deal with it, get over it, and let go. Don't let that pain control you. Don't let that pain hold you. Because all it's doing is stopping you from being great, stopping you from being the person that God has created you to be. So let that pain go. But yeah, man.
As far as, so we talked about the pain, and what the pain that he caused us. How have you repurposed that pain in your life?
For me, the biggest thing is just being a dad. Yeah. Like, I'm really him. I'm that guy when it comes to.
Hold on, you said I'm proud of you. I'm gonna give you your flowers. I'm proud of you as a dad. Like, you show me a lot, so I definitely want to give you your 2 cents. Ash just called me, right, Josh, do this. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you.
No, I appreciate it, but just being the dad that I am to the kids, like, so many things I want to get better at, and this is the power of having the right people around you. Because LaVon, she tells me all the time, like, you're a great dad, and you get so hard on yourself and you beat yourself up so hard because it's just like, damn, am I doing good? Am I doing? Because we ain't had that example, and not having that example is just like you question so much, and just having LaVon around and her being able to help me just understand, like, bro, you really a good dad. So. Again, there's always things we can get better at, but yeah, man, I think that's how I've repurpose it, just making sure I'm the dad, like, that the kids are proud of.
Nah, for me, I repurpose it again the same way, just being there and just understanding. Like, I think not having dad in our life growing up helped me understand that even though, yes, I'm chasing these shiny objects, yes, I'm chasing the money, yes, I'm chasing bigger and better for my life, but I think I know I found purpose in our life, because my kids, that having the nice stuff would be cool, but I'm realizing the kids don't want that. They don't want all the stuff that we want. They don't care about no jet. They don't care about nothing of stuff that I have on my vision board. All they care about is time.
Yep.
Daddy, journey. Daddy, can we make pancakes today? Yep. And the pancakes is on a fake stove. Ace, that way he just want me to jump off the top bed with him.
Yeah.
That's all they really want. And I've been able to repurpose that and help me create a vision for my life that, yes, I'm chasing these things, but I need to make sure that I'm there, and I need to make sure that I give them time, because that's really what I wanted as a kid. And I've been able to repurpose that to see that in my life.
But, for our show, we talk about expose and expand, and I think exposure goes both ways, right? It shows you what you want and what you don't want. And for me, one of the key things that we've been exposed from a perspective of what I don't want, and like, this is no disrespect to dad, but showing me the man that I don't want to be. Yeah. Showing me that, like, I want to be around for my kids, right? Because I know the trauma that it's caused us, right? Showing the fact that, showing the fact that, hey, because he wasn't around, I'm putting that energy into the kids. I'm being intentional about the things that I show him. Right, so he showed me, okay, this is not who I want to be. And again, no disrespect to him. He had to make the best decisions for him. And I love my dad, but just, again, using that as exposure as well. Because people got to understand that exposure can be good and it can be bad. But that was a good piece of it. The purpose behind that pain was, hey, this is what you don't want to do. Yeah. Because if you do those things that he's did, these are the results that your kids are going to have.
Nah, facts. That's good. Another story that I want to talk about as far as painful upbringing. Ooh, painful. I'm talking about in the 6th grade, having to walk around with the same pair of and1s the entire year with holes at the bottom, walking through the sea and getting ranked because of that. Painful. Growing up, our mom, she did the best that she could. She is an amazing woman. Hands down. Top 2 in the world, and she not number 2. Like, my mom is somebody who's inspirational, who showed us hard work, who showed us be a leader, who showed us always do right by people and always service people as much as you can. But we had it tough growing up. She was a single parent. She had 5 kids, and we had to go through a lot. We didn't have a lot growing up. I remember we had to, like, one time our shower broke. Like, the shower broke the stem, so no water would come out. So we had to go outside to the water hose or to the kitchen, put water in the bucket, put it in the bathtub, and bathe that way.
Boil it first.
We had to boil it. We had to boil it.
Don't try my old girl like that.
We had to boil it first, and then we put it in the bathtub, and we showered. I remember seeing her car coming home from school, bro. I'll never forget this. We coming home, long day of practice at the sea, and they taking the Durango. Like, I remember that vividly. Like, Mom, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I ain't paid the bill, so they got to take it. You just think about all of that trauma and that pain that we had to experience. But I'm happy that we went through that.
Of course.
I am so happy, because now people, they stop their life because they don't have everything that they think they need to do what it is that they want to do.
Yeah.
For us, You think about how resourceful we've become because of those painful years growing up. We are very resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely, boy, we could turn a penny to $1 quick.
I'm Jesus reincarnated, but I'm returning water into wine, my boy. I'm water into wine, my boy.
But that's all. But you think about that's all because of painful years that we had to go through.
Yeah.
Painful years as a kid, having to figure out things. People ask all the time, like, yo, like, how y'all do it? What you mean how y'all do it? We wake up, we make a decision to do it, and we go and figure it out. You think about how we had to go through so much pain as kids to get to that point. And I always think about how blessed we are that Mom, the greatest gift, aside from knowing Jesus as our Savior, the greatest gift that she gave us was the gift of want.
Yeah.
She gave us that gift.
Yep.
We want more in our life because she gave us that.
Yep.
And that we had to go through a lot of pain to get there.
Yep.
And now we're repurposing that into, think about this podcast, how this came together.
Yeah.
We called the team, guys. We gonna launch this
On our birthday.
On our birthday. It was July 1st, and we only got 14. July 21st. But we called them on like around July 1st.
Yeah.
Guys, we want to launch it. We wanted to be big. We only got 14 days because you're going out of town next week. So next week is a scratch.
Yep.
Right? So now for us, we've been able to turn nothing into something quick and build this out.
Yeah.
Share our message with the world.
One thing that you said about Mom, and just one of the lessons that she's taught us, is we know how to work well under pressure. We know how to work well in chaos.
Yeah.
Right? When everyone else is panicking, that I'm calm. Like, I like the story. If you guys don't understand the story of a bull, you need to understand it, where when the hurricane comes, when the tornado comes, the bull runs toward the storm, where everyone else, every other animal is running from the storm. So we know how to go into that hurricane, run towards the storm, and we know how to dominate. We know how to control that storm and make that storm what it is that we want to make it, right? So that's one of the things that Mom taught us, and she showed us, like, we ain't never had nothing to eat, but we ate what? Like, hey, boy, you know how to whip up a dip meal, boy. Hey, I better go whip up something. Like,
it was never nothing in the cabinets or the fridge.
We had food, can of salmon. We had a little rice. You know what I'm saying?
But can of salmon, boy, that was Vienna sausages. Ain't no salmon.
Facts.
Boy, we couldn't afford no salmon. The best we had was tilapia, and we used to mutt the tilapia
the
too.
Canned salmon, though, we did have a little canned salmon. We had a little canned salmon. So,
but nah, man, just growing up the way we did, I wouldn't change that for nothing.
At all.
That has helped us so much in our entrepreneurial journey. It helped us so much in our life. But I'm thankful that we've had people in our lives that's helped us understand that all we're doing is repurposing that. We've been exposed to that.
Yep.
And that's so key.
Facts.
Any other story? What other stories you got? We supposed to come with a couple today. I don't feel like you prepared, my boy.
I'm the star player. I'm always prepared.
Okay.
When it's time to show up, I show up.
Okay.
I keep telling you that.
Okay.
I think another story too of repurposing that pain is when it comes to relationships, right? Anything that we've never really seen a successful relationship growing up. Never. Maybe one or two, maybe, but something that was consistent, we never seen that. You think about that story Tommy told us in Cabo.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that story, what he told us in Cabo. He was like, man, I adore my parents. I love my parents.
Yeah.
Because he, and how that affected him was how he loved his girl. Like, let's keep it, we were talking about getting prenups. Everybody there, we all making money.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yo, nah, that's my girl. I love her. I ain't never seen nobody be that passionate about a woman, like about their significant other before. Yeah. But he got exposed, to that from his parents. For us, we was never exposed to that. Yeah. So for a long time, I struggled with how to deal with women. Yeah. I struggled with just being healthy in relationships.
Yeah,
struggle with that.
No, definitely. Another thing that I want to talk about, another very, very painful moment that we've been able to repurpose is when we couldn't get the test scores in high school.
Oh.
Ooh, we could not get the test scores at high school. So that was, growing up, we always we going to the NFL, we going to the league. It was baked into our heads since we were kids. We heard it. At one point, we had a pastor prophesy.
I was going to the league because I was him.
Okay.
You? I don't know.
But somebody, like, we always just thought we was going to the NFL and we were going to play football in the NFL. In order to get to the NFL, you got to go to college. In order to go to college, where we from, you probably need a scholarship or got to check out a student loan. So for us, we thought football was our way out. And in high school, we went to Carol City for 3 years. Then we transferred to university school, and I had a pretty good. Josh got hurt. I had a pretty good senior year. I thought I should have got recruited, and I was getting recruited. I had like small schools, like offer from Temple. I had an offer from BYU, but I wasn't going there because they said I had to sign something saying I wasn't going to have sex, which was like, at the time of my life, that was very important to me. We had another small school, and I'm like, you know what? I was real with myself. I ain't going to Temple. I ain't that program changing player. Like, them boys, they was not good back then. They was like, the year before they had went 1-10, and I was real with myself. I am not him. I'm not finna go to Temple and change his program. Like, I kept it real. BYU, again, I wasn't going there. They wanted me to sign something, and the other school was the Air Force. My mom made the decision for us. She was like, no, y'all ain't going to the Air Force. That's when everything was going crazy with Afghanistan, Iraq. It was 2008, 2009. My mom was like, y'all ain't going to the Air Force. Y'all ain't going to the Army. Again, another pivotal moment that my mom stepped up for us. So thank you, Mom, for that. So we had those 3 schools. And then as the season progressed, Ivy Leagues like Harvard, Penn, Yale, they started recruiting us. And what was the Patriot League? Schools like Lehigh, Holy Cross, those type of schools, they started recruiting us, and they're known more for academics than they are education. We tried, so we had to take the ACT and the SAT 4 times each, and I'm talking about every day after school, we going to extra help. We had tutors. That guy Edusen. We had tutors. We had all kind of crazy. We was doing everything to try to get the reduced test scores that they gave the athletes. You ain't got to score as high as everybody else, but we reduced it. They reduced it a lot for us. And we tried and tried and tried. We took the test multiple times, and we could not get the test scores, and we was traumatized. We was traumatized because we had a vision that we was going to go to one of these Ivy League or Patriot League schools and play ball. And luckily, our head coach, that boy exposed us. Gosh, your brain will take you further than your legs. I understand you want to play ball, but brain will take you further than your legs. It was a pivotal moment to us when you said that. It was painful going through that because we seen all of our friends getting recruited. We had them dogs.
Yeah.
Stead, Gino, we had dogs that year that came out. Like big time players. And we like, damn, man, they getting recruited. I had a great year. Why am I not getting recruited? Couldn't understand. It was painful. But I'm happy that happened for us. I'm happy we went through that pain because we were able to repurpose that in so many great ways to be to where we are today.
Yeah.
Like we here, I truly believe we're here because we didn't go play football and we had somebody who told us to go off somewhere else.
But for me, man, it boils down to 2 words: God's plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like his plan is so much bigger.
Yeah.
You know, for us, like we thought we wanted to go to NFL. We thought that was the route for us.
Yeah.
But like grandma used to always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan.
Yeah.
And hey, we going to the NFL. We going to the NFL.
Yeah.
And when that didn't happen, it hurt. Like you said, it was painful. I can feel it right now as I sit here and I think about it.
Yeah.
The fact that and just to see all of our friends getting recruited, going to these schools and getting ready to crush. And I'm just like, we train with them.
Yeah.
We hang out with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know, you know what I'm saying? I know if they could do it, I could do it too.
Yeah.
But being thankful that, hey, God's plan was different because my experience was a little different. I got hurt.
Yeah.
And I felt like I didn't even be given a fair shot.
Yeah.
What from preseason our senior year, you remember what happened where I messed up my Achilles and it's never been the same.
Yeah.
Even till this day, I'm still having problems with my Achilles. But not being able to play at all and get scouted, and just to see all your friends getting scouted from going to the 10th grade where I was getting letters, from UM, Florida State, our 10th grade year to, hey, nothing.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing feeling. Another thing I want to bring up too, or another story, kind of what you just said, is repurposing the pain of our friends getting shot in high school and us going to youth school. Like, those were hurtful moments where we close friends, guys we knew, guys we hung out with, rolled dice with, did crazy stuff with, funny stuff with.
Yeah.
These guys, like, at the time was our brothers.
Yeah,
And
I remember in high school, it was one point at this C where like every day for like 30 days, somebody was getting shot. A teacher got robbed on during lunch. He got shot. Every day something was happening, and it was a painful moment in our life. Yeah.
So, but thinking about that, like how people sometimes say, how is there a God if bad things happen? And like for me, like I don't want to bring religion into this, but y'all, this is like our show, and we gonna talk what we believe, right? God allows everything to happen for a reason, and like if that never happened, where would we be today? Right? When we was coming out of high school, we said if we didn't go to the NFL, I want a job that's gonna pay me $60,000 a year. And I ain't saying there's nothing wrong. God damn it, there's something wrong with that. You can't support your family with $60,000 a year. But that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. But because that happened to our friends, we go to another school and we get exposed, and now our conversations is how we make $60,000 a day.
No, you're right. You're right. Conversations change. Everything's changed when you really go through something and you reflect on it and you use it to repurpose. I just think about another moment of pain, which was owning that cleaning company. Oh, that was very painful. You know, we had a cleaning company. It was called Dr. Clean, and the concept was we was gonna clean medical offices. We was gonna do more services than other cleaning services and charge a premium. We was gonna be proof of concept in South Florida and then sell franchises throughout the rest of the country. That's all we saw, selling franchises. But growing, just even getting to that point to even sell that company, it was so many painful nights. I'm talking about we had to sleep on the dirty floor in doctor offices because we was too tired to drive home. Josh almost killed somebody. That was like driving. That was a scary moment. We were so tired. The man went to sleep behind the wheel. We went through so much pain growing that company. But what it taught me and how I repurposed that is that's not what I want in my life. I don't want to be a slave to no business. I don't want to be a slave to something that I really don't want to do just to make money. Yeah. And I've been able to repurpose that. Now when I look at opportunities, it's like, is it gonna take me back to that cleaning company and am I chasing money or am I chasing the bigger purpose and the vision? I'm repurposing that pain to go after something way bigger and never settle if it's just making money. Yeah.
Nah, that is a great point, man. We learned so many valuable lessons with Dr. Clean. As you mentioned, like it was painful running that and operating that business, just finding the employees. Yeah. And then we were the doctor, the lawyer, the therapist, the baby mama, the baby daddy, the child support collector, everything. We were the bank, everything for these people. Yeah. And just understanding, like you said, and it's not even from that business, it's just the pains of operating that business from a managerial standpoint, like what we don't want. Yeah. Meaning, okay, if we want to start a business, here's the caliber of people that we want. Here's the type of businesses that we want to be a part of. Yeah. But then also we got exposed to the fact that pain of being bad managers. Yeah. What happens when you are a bad manager? We got exposed to that. It was painful at that point of having to, take care of these employees and help them, and then they turn around and don't show up to work and just
you let them borrow money, and then they don't pay you back. We learned so much.
We learned so much,
but
it was painful at that point. But now we not where we want to be, but we not where we used to be. We had definitely a way better point as operators, way better point as business owners.
Nah, definitely. One point, like one final point that I want to make is just the people who's ever listening to this, because so often one thing that I don't like about our society is that we sit in the pain. Yeah. And we let it drag out, and we make so many excuses as to why we not doing what we say we gonna do, why we not going after our goals, why we not achieving things. We blame everybody else as opposed to looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, I'm using this painful moment in my life the wrong way. I'm using it to complain and to be a victim as opposed to be a victor and standing up and rising to the occasion and saying, you know what, I'm gonna use this pain, I'm gonna repurpose this pain. I'm gonna become a different person. So for me, like if you're listening to this, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do your family a favor. Don't sit in that pain. Use whatever pain you go through, reflect on it, and then repurpose it and go after the greatness, because we all have greatness in us.
That's good. That's good what you just said. But I want to talk a little deeper too, because I want to help the person that's listening understand, okay, how do I even discover what my pain is? Because for a long time, before we started going to therapy, we didn't know we had pain. We didn't know what that trauma, right? So if you're watching this, man, and you're going through something, I highly encourage you to find somebody that, if you can, find a therapist, somebody that understands you, understands what it is that you're going through. Find a therapist, somebody who could talk, that can help you talk through those issues. Because when I first went to therapy, I thought I had 4 issues that I was dealing with. And when I sat down with Chris, my therapist, he was like, and he started unpacking, doing what he do, the whole therapist thing. It was 18 things I was dealing with, 18 pain points that I had, right? So it helped me to, one, okay, understand and analyze where that pain was coming from, right? We're going to talk about it. I'm going to talk to that person. I'm going to talk to that pain, release myself of that pain. Yeah. And now for me, like I can help people do their stuff. I can tell people, like, guys, if you're going through something, it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to go talk to somebody. And especially us as men, especially us black men, it's okay for you to go out and talk to somebody. Think about that pain. Let's talk a little deeper. Think about the pain of don't tell nobody we going through stuff. Growing up, and the way that we did, the reason we was always so fearful is we was always told, don't tell nobody when you going through something. Just be quiet. Hold it to yourself. You don't want nobody to know that you're struggling. So that is crazy. When you think about that, is crazy. When you going through something, you need a tribe of people. You need a tribe of people who's going to tell you, or who's going to help you through that situation.
No, that's real. I'm happy to hear that you had 18 and I only had 16, so I know I ain't the one that's off real bad.
Thump right now.
But no, I just, as far as helping people find out what pain they have, I think first is just recognizing that we all have been through something. None of us are different than the other. We all have gone through something to get to where we are in life, whether it be painful, whether it was good, whether it was bad. Just knowing, just analyzing your life and what have I gone through, and how can I become a different person? How can I repurpose what I've gone through to really become better? And I just think you just got to be aware. You got to be aware, and then just really just sit down and analyze, and just really think about, okay, certain points in your life that you could still be carrying that trauma, and how you can free yourself.
So, as you was talking, I had this point, and I had this thought, and it was just like, anything that triggers you, usually there's a trauma or there's some pain behind it. Anything that can trigger you, there has to be some pain or some trauma behind it, because you think about
PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress. That's what it is. That is PTSD.
Facts. And you gotta understand, okay, where does that PTSD stems from? Understand where it comes from, and then put yourself on a plan, whether it's through a therapist or whether with yourself, to say, hey, now I know what this pain point is, where this pain point comes from, and from there, I'm not going to control it. The problem with a lot of people is they give that trigger too much control. Like, one thing that I think that we do well is we are intentional about becoming better in all areas of our life. And these are the conversations you and I have all the time, right? Okay, with us raising our voice, with us screaming and yelling. Okay, where does that pain come from? It came from Mom. It came from her. But she was going, me being mature enough to understand that she had to communicate that way, because she had other pain and trauma that she was dealing with, and she wasn't seeking help for that trauma.
She had the means to. She had the means to, and she not only did she have the means to stop making an excuse, she also had the time as well. I think so often people, they don't focus on it because they're so into their life and their routine, and they're going. They don't ever sit down to think. Mine really had no time to sit down and think.
Facts.
And again, that's not an excuse for certain things that we didn't agree with, but I think people need to sit down at some point, as opposed to scrolling on social media, as opposed to scrolling on stuff that ain't gonna really be beneficial to you. Sit down and reflect on your life and what pain you need to remove so that you can repurpose that and you can become a better individual. Anything else, my boy?
Nah, man, this has been I think one of our best episodes so far, man. I hope that anyone that's watching that that's watching this show that you understand that if you are going through something, man, it's okay to seek help. It's okay to go talk to somebody. It's okay for you to say, hey, man, I'm struggling and I need help. Find you a group of people. If you're a guy, man, find you a group of guys who gonna go to war with you, not just some guys who gonna, hey, man, we gonna go to the club, we gonna party, we gonna drink. Nah, you need a group of guys who gonna have your back, a group of guys who gonna hold you accountable, that's gonna challenge you, that's gonna be there in them deep, dark moments that you go through, because we all go through them. So find you a group of people, male or female, on both sides. Find your tribe that, again, when you're going through something, that you can call out on.
All right, guys. So today, I think Josh said, I think it's one of our best episodes. No, I believe this is our best episode ever. This is probably the deepest we ever got as brothers. Really talking real deep. Like, we go there, but I think this was a great conversation for us to have. I think I know it's gonna impact and change lives. And guys, just repurpose your pain. Don't sit in it. Repurpose it. Figure out what it is, and go out and just become a different person.
Hey, man, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Again, I just truly believe this has been one of our best episodes yet. So if you guys are watching this, just please do us a favor. We'll greatly appreciate it if you like, comment, share, subscribe, write us, review, all that good stuff, man. We appreciate y'all love and support.
Expose and expand.
We out.